Hi, and welcome to WarHQ's new segment called Rapid Fire News. Today, what we'll be looking at is just a couple of news items that are from around the Warhammer world. The first one we'll be looking at is the new loot box and the controversy around that. We're going to for and against it. And then, secondly, we'll look at the new releases from 40K for the new main three box sets that they've brought out with Indominus and all those other things, with the Necron and Space Marine sort of tie up. Today with me, I've got Kaisel from WarHQ. How you doing, man?
Good, thanks.
And just before we start, I would please ask everyone to subscribe to our channel. It does help quite a lot in our quest to keep going on as a channel and to get bigger. If you'd like to consider becoming a Patreon, you'd be part of an elite few and you'd be a total legend. And as always, like, comments, and those things. But let's get straight into our first news piece. And what do you have for us, Kaisel?
Yeah, so this dropped a few days ago, and I saw the memes coming across, like basically just people just saying like, give it to me, like pay all, like I'll pay anything for it. And I couldn't figure out why. Then came out like half of them were just joking around, but then all of a sudden when I checked the other night, thinking Australia's never going to get this, it was actually on the Games Workshop site for Australia, and it was sold out, and I'm like, why? Like I can't see a reason for this. Um,
So what you're talking about, for those at home, is the loot box announcement,
yeah, yeah.
or
So
the supply drop, I think they called it. They termed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
all I can really think of for how this has come to be, and it's actually smart of Games Workshop. From what I've heard through the grapevine, and probably is true. I don't know where to look to find this out. Games Workshop is moving all of its production from China back into the UK. Plus, also
Good.
given the fact that they've just brought out ninth edition, so all of the older material is now going to be basically out of print in a few years' time. They're probably sitting on a stockpile that they just can't get rid of. So why not sell it at half price and bundle it together? And if they were going to sell it at half price, people are just going to buy out the stuff that they want. So
Okay,
make
but
it,
half price can be a little elusive, can't you? Can't it if we were in Australia?
yeah,
And there's a couple of reasons for that, and then we were talking about this previously. And now, if you're in the UK, I think they started. Is it £75?
it's 75
Is
pounds. Yeah,
£75? And I think is one. There's a so for those that don't know, there's an Imperium supply drop and there's a Warhammer Underworld supply drop. I think it is.
yeah,
Now I think they're 70 to £75 in the UK. Now, if you're in Australia like us, we do get shafted quite a lot with the price on things. Like we pay a lot more than you guys or anyone else in the world. But £75 to us is about 150 Australian dollars, roughly. It's a little bit less than that, but
yeah.
it's roughly $150. So in the UK, you can get the supply drop for £75, which is about 150 Australian dollars. In Australia, these are priced at $225. So that's $75 extra than our UK friends are paying. So I want to know, my main criticism of this is, okay, you want to give us 50% off, but is it 50% off when we're paying $75 extra than our UK friends? Are we still getting that benefit, or is this just a complete shafting for us international plebs?
Yeah,
Your
well,
thoughts?
so I can take this way back from like actual video game perspective as well, because we've struggled with this for a very long time with in America, games being $40 to $60, yet
Mhm.
when they come over here they're $90,
Yeah,
and even creeping into the $100 now. And
yeah.
you have gaming companies going, oh, it's the supply chain, it's like delivery costs and that sort of stuff. You still pay the exact same amount of money for a digital copy. So where's the
Mm.
delivery fee in that?
Where's the delivery fee? Yeah, and another thing too is being someone who's been in shipping and international shipping. Um, with Games Workshop being as big as they are and supplying Australia or another international zone, um, they usually go on a container load sort of purchase for these kind of things.
Mm,
And when you break down how many box sets you can put into a container, the actual delivery fee is very small. It is
yes.
very small. It comes down to cents. You know what I mean? Like per item. It's not like $75 extra.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a couple of other handling fees in between there, like getting it to the actual shipping yard and then taking it from the shipping yard in Australia. One other thing I need to mention too is that Australia does have a GST, like an imports tax
Yeah,
as well, and I'm sure Games Workshop get hit with that, which is a 10% flat rate. And I know New Zealand does, probably a few other places do as well. So that is something else to consider into that factor, but I don't think it's probably going to be the amount of extra money that you're paying. All
exactly.
things considered, when you look at it at the bulk and like the actual numbers of things that you'd be bringing out, it does actually bring the cost of it right down, where the cost can look quite crazy when you first look at the cost of actually shipping something. When you look at the volume of units that you're shipping, it really brings that down. So that'd be my thoughts on it. So is it 50%? I don't know. Basically, what they're claiming here is that this is their own words. Each supply drop will gives you a secretly selected set of Warhammer kits based on specific themes at a whopping 50% off recommended retail price. So apparently, they're hand selecting these uh, from the shit that they don't want, is what I would say. Like that isn't selling, so it's probably going to be the old themed Space Marines. I'm assuming it's probably going to be some of the least popular Imperium armies. So, what would they be? They'd be sisters or something? They'd be those kind of forces. Probably don't
Si-
sell as much,
Sisters are out of stock
are they? Well,
everywhere at
pretty
the
much
moment,
everything. I think
and
everything's been out of
yeah,
stock
but
over this period.
also
Yeah,
Marines. From what I was hearing, there people are having struggles with Marines, but I would say your
right.
Imperial Guards.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
they're all old kits, aren't they? Like they're
yeah,
things that haven't been updated in so long. Um,
Mechanicus, that type of stuff. That just the stuff that's on the edge that people don't normally buy is
yeah,
what I would expect.
yeah. So, are they saying that the stuff that they'd be sending you would all be from the same faction? I'm hoping that's the case. I think that was my understanding, because
Or
you wouldn't want to just get a whole random mix of crap from different factions. That could really,
I'd
you
expect it to
know,
be a completely mixed bag.
really
Yeah,
secretly selected set of Warhammer kits that doesn't actually specify, does it?
like
Mm,
yeah, like
okay.
when you think about it, it's also kind of smart of them to do a mixed bag as well. Because if you get a mixed bag, you might get some of the stuff you've got. You might also get some stuff that you just don't have that force, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to start collecting that
Well,
force.
one advantage here I can see, like take it away from 40k players. Kill team, this could be okay. As long as
Yep.
the kits that you get are actually usable for kill team, you know what I mean? Like, as in they're actually, units that you can use, like, base regiments, like, core unit sets and stuff that aren't like, vehicles or big monsters or something. It could be okay because you could actually get a couple of kill teams out of this. I don't know, but it really depends on what you were given, I guess. So that's what it comes down.
Mm.
Now, you were saying before, and I agree, this is going to be like a sort of a scalper's dream, isn't it? Like people who resell things. I guess are
Yes.
going to be
Yeah.
that's probably why this is sold out. I think there's no way I would buy it. Like I'd like to have some control over my fate. I know it's 50% off. Apparently, I don't think so in Australia. Probably more
Yeah.
like 10%. But I
Well,
don't. I think the resellers are who this is targeted at, right? The people who on sell things, they sell bits or kits, they break them up and sell them on eBay or on Facebook. I guess this is kind of people who will go nutto over this one. I don't
yeah,
know. That's my thought.
and that's why I reckon it's sold out already. It's so
Right.
just to clarify, I don't think it's actually the your bricks and mortar stores. They get enough of a discount already, but
Yep.
I think I think it has changed in Australia that they are locked into certain price models that
Right.
they can't legally go under that. So they're still constrained a little bit. But your eBay vendors that will break it apart and that sort of stuff, they're not
Hmm.
locked into anything. So if they can get something at half price and even sell it at 60-70% of what the price is, they're still making a heap of profit.
True.
And at the moment, they're still making a heap of profit breaking things apart anyway. So
Lots of profit. I do, being a kill team player, I buy a lot of things as individual mint models or things just so I don't have to buy whole sets because sometimes I might just need like one of a particular model
yeah.
to complete my kill team. So yeah, um, yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Um, yeah, any other thoughts on the supply drop?
Just going back to the price and the taxes. When we were looking at it before, we were looking at the new box sets coming out, and I think in the UK, the top tier box set starter kit is
So
100.
now we're talking about the new sets that they're bringing out now, like the
Yeah, but not
yeah,
going onto them yet. This is more just a
yep,
price comparison.
okay,
They're 105, 105 pounds, which comes out to about 200 and something Australian.
191.
Yeah. Um,
Yep.
and they're selling for 240 here.
Yeah,
So
so that's a let's have a look at that. So the the English price 105 pounds is 191.29 cents in Australia. And would you say 230? 230 is 126.25 pounds.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a pretty big difference.
yeah. So
Um,
when you compare them, all of a sudden, like something that's costing in the UK 75 pounds
mhm,
is 225 in Australian, but then something's costing an extra 30 pounds is only $5 more in Australia. And it's
mm.
like, where is this price difference coming from? Like,
Well, I think you'd actually need a degree in psychology to understand Games Workshop pricing
oh no, it's not. It's not.
because it doesn't make much sense. Like as far as it
Well,
goes.
in the UK, it makes a little bit of sense, but when it comes over
Mm.
here, all of a sudden we're paying a lot more than what they are in the UK for
Yeah, yeah.
the same product.
Of course, yeah.
So
And is it justifiable? I don't know. You guys tell us. If is anyone out there that knows more? We're not professing to be professionals. We're just sort of musing on some new releases and things that are coming out.
yeah, and
And just being salty Australians because we can be salty
oh well,
because we pay more than anyone else. Actually, if you come from a country that pays more than that, please let me know in the comments below because my heart goes out to you because you've already got to be fairly rich to play Games Workshop products in Australia.
yeah,
As it is, it's a bit of a rich man's hobby over here,
um,
particularly when you've got base box sets at like $98 and that.
yeah.
Just for standard units.
I could be a little bit salty because I was actually looking at getting one of these, but like
Hmm.
more for the fact of like why not? Like give me something I probably would have never bought anyway.
Yeah,
And blind boxes, I don't really care. Like I've been buying blind box stuff
you
for
kind of like that sort of thing, though, don't you?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a bit of a
It's
mystery box. Yeah.
and I was just thinking about it, it's like you know what? Like if even at the price, like sure we probably would get about $500 Australian worth of the stuff. Probably only going to be like $150, 150 pounds anyway. Um, but then I just jumped on the site to think, oh, that's not going to come to Australia, and it was in Australia, and it was sold out. And it's like, how was this only up for a day? Was it sold out in hours?
Yeah,
So
no, that's
I,
right.
so I may be a little bit salty of that, but it's more like when you look at the price comparison, that's where I'm more concerned.
Yeah, the
Um,
price comparison is the real kick in the nutsack. I think it's sort of like, yeah, I can't justify that. Having done a little bit with national shipping and that before, and containers, I don't know. I'm not sure. Doesn't really add up. But that's, it's not made in Australia, I guess.
yeah, I'd,
That's
I'd
one of the things you face.
I'd love to see what actually gets put in there when they start shipping them out.
Yeah, well, that'd be interesting. If anyone has bought one, like, can you tell us down below and like let me know what you get when it,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay, cool. Hmm.
Okay, so the release of the starter sets, the
Yeah,
Command Edition, Elite Edition, and Recruit
this is
Edition.
in with ninth edition Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
This has come out, so these have replaced the Death Guard Marine one, Primaris ones, right?
Yes.
So this is your new options that used to be the Death Guard Primaris kind of setup. Unfortunately, it's still got Primaris. I don't know why we're going to be enduring that crap, but anyway, that's just their token figure, I guess, token faction.
Uh,
Um,
I heard someone say something recently. It's the most for a new person coming into the store and they want to get into it.
it's the
It
easiest point of entry.
yeah, it's easiest to explain. It's like, look, these guys
Yeah,
are yeah. So I don't think they'll
superhumans. Yeah, it's sort of their poster boy. I get it. I totally get it.
yeah.
I just wonder one day if they do like a full Xenos one. Imagine that. Like it was like Azirani versus Necron or something crazy. You know what I mean? Which has lore sort of things that come into it. See, Azirani were created to fight the Necron and that originally. So something like that could be interesting. Like if they, but would it sell as much? I don't know. I don't know. They probably wouldn't take those chances.
Hmm.
But I guess they've got their Marines in there. That's good. So the three sets we've got, yeah. So we've got 3 points of entry. Like last time, we've got the Recruit Edition. In Australia, on the screen, you can see that's $65. We've got the Elite Edition, which is 120. and we've got the Command Edition, which is 230. And it looks down here they've made three paint sets:
Yep.
one for Marines, one for Necrons, and then one for both. It looks like with tools, which looks pretty cool. And we have a battlefield expansion set, so a terrain set. So it looks like the terrain that comes in the Command Edition is released by itself as well, which is always a nice thing
Mm-hmm.
if you're just looking for terrain. So do you want to go into these, and we'll just have a look at what we get? So we'll go into the Recruit Edition,
Yep.
$65 entry sort of one. So this used to be a really popular one for Death Guard. Like it's a good way to start collecting Death Guard and Primaris. I think you and I both did that, didn't we? Like when it first hit,
Yeah.
that's where you
Yeah.
got your first Death Guard from, wasn't it?
It was.
And you're a Necron player too, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this because you probably want the new models, I'm assuming, because
Well,
you get the new options with those Gauze blasters or whatever they call the Gauze guns, the new ones that they've brought out on your normal warriors. Pretty cool.
yeah.
And it looks like they've got a new commander figure in here as well. So a Royal Warden. I don't know. I don't play 40k. So that looks like the leader model. So you get a Royal Warden and 10 Necron warriors and 3 Scarab swarms. So there's your Necron stuff. And then you've got a Primaris Lieutenant. We need another one of those, like ball on the head. And 5 Assault Intercessors. Okay, so you've got the Intercessors. It's interesting. What's your thoughts on this one? And you get a board, and then the box doubles as a terrain feature. I think that's what happens, and a
So
couple of dice.
yeah. Um, I'm just looking at that more from the box sets that are out at the moment.
Hmm
12 warriors, I think, go for about, I want to say 40, maybe 60 Australian. Um,
From Games Workshop, I'd say they'd be in the $49 or $48 range. I think probably the
yeah,
same price as Pathfinders for like or Orc Boys. Oh, sorry, yeah, Orc Boys. I think they're another box sets around the same price. I think.
yeah. I wanted to say 45 to 48, and then, but I wanted to give it an extra 10 in case I was wrong. So,
Okay, so one interesting thing is you're getting the Primaris Assault Intercessors, so they've got chainswords. That's
yes.
something a bit different, and it looks like the lieutenant has some sort of shield, like a storm shield or something.
Yep.
Uh, Plasma pistol, by the look of the picture. That's pretty cool. I guess that's something different.
Yeah,
I
so
can live with that. And even the intercessors have the little shields on, like I think the commander of the intercessors has a little shield on his chest. If you're having a look at those photos, it's like the one with the Marines together. So that's interesting. And then the Necron warriors, you're getting that command figure, and you're getting who looks a bit bigger, and he's got like a bigger gun. And then you can choice of 2 guns by the look of it. So you've got your new Gauze guns, and then the original guns that the Necrons have as well. But the models are updated, right? So they do look a bit
yes.
better than the original.
Yeah.
And they are pushed to fit, so you'll love it.
Yeah. The
Since you hated the original box set for
oh
Necrons.
yeah, when I went into see into Games Workshop the other day, well, a few weeks back, I saw them and I was like, they look spindly as this is going to be a nightmare with
Oh, okay.
the new box set. But if they're pushed to fit, then like I'm in heaven. But
Okay.
yeah, I think
I think we can for $65. That's all right. Hey,
yeah,
like it's
that's
not bad.
yeah, limited poses, but you had limited poses anyway for
Yeah,
Necrons.
push to
So
fit. Yeah, you can already see in the pictures that a lot of them double up. Like they look the same but with a different weapon. So
yeah,
there's probably about 3 variants or something there. By looking at this, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 with the same arm, just a different weapon. Yeah, and same pose. So yeah, there's going to be not many variants, but that's okay. They're Necrons; they all look the same anyway, right?
yeah, it's
The Marines just look like a couple of different poses of running and standing kind of thing, but they do look kind of dynamic. The Marines, I do like that, like they're sort of running, being assault Marines, I guess. Probably a good idea.
actually I'm now that I think about it. So when I modified my flayed ones out of warriors, that was just bending arms and legs. Like for $65, that's
Yeah,
just to have a flayed ones unit.
right.
That's what, in my opinion, that's worth it. Like
Okay.
even how it is with just like for a straight pack of 12 warriors, $65. I'm not against that price. That's a nice entry price.
Right. Okay.
So
Well, that's
I'm just
cool.
yeah. Only 5 Marines. That's kind of
With
weird.
six,
Oh,
you've got
okay.
a leader one. Yeah. Um, it's kind of a unique looking lieutenant, like with the shield and the pistol. That's pretty cool. I don't mind
Yeah,
that idea. It's the new bubble Marines. I don't really like, but that's just my opinion.
yeah,
It made them, yeah, a little bit more cartoony or something. I don't really like that. But that's just me. Um, all right, cool. Should we compare it to the next set?
yeah, yeah.
So we go from the recruit set to the elite edition. So we're paying $120 for this one. So let's have a look at what we get. So automatically looks like the box is bigger. So the terrain piece you get is a bit bigger. And the map's a little bit bigger. You got a couple of crappy rulers, same dice. What do we get for the actual thing? So you're getting your okay, getting a couple of extra things here. So you've got your Overlord, so Imperious Commander of the Necron Phalanxes. Okay, you've
Mm-hmm.
got an Overlord, you've got the 10 Necron Warriors, Scarab Swarms, Scortep Destroyers, and the Cannon. So you got three of those, and then one Canotech Plasma Sight. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
So you've got a few extra things with this one. Like you've got some like sort of I guess elite units or bigger units. Looks like these are those ones with the scythe kind of things that we saw. They look pretty, or
yeah,
glaives, I
yeah.
guess you'd call them, on like not legs, but they're on sort of spike. Um,
So
okay, so that's giving you a few extra things, and it looks like for the Marines, you've got a Primaris Captain. So before we had the Lieutenant in the other one, I do like what they're doing here, where you could buy both box sets and you get a couple of different things. That's
yes,
not
yeah,
bad because that leader that you got in the small set, you don't get in this one. You get a different one. You get like an Overlord with like a higher ranked one. So I guess there's a bit of continuity in that you could get both of these, and you'd have a couple of different options in them.
yep.
And you're going to need more warriors anyway. So like having more warriors hurts. And it looks so the assault intercessors you're getting again, but you're getting three outriders which are on bikes and a captain instead of a lieutenant. So again, it's not a massive Primaris boost, but you're getting some different stuff. You're getting the captain and you're getting three bikers. These are on the
So
new box.
so the question is for how many models are there?
Well, it went from was it 20 to 27, I think, or
It
something like
went
that.
to,
So
went to 27, but
yeah,
I'm, I'm
but
I'm thinking for the new type of models.
they're elite models, which are more expensive if you were to buy them
Is it worth an extra?
individually.
Is it worth an extra $70?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. The thing I'd say is it's the continuity between the box. You do get different leader models and stuff within them so far, within these first two anyway.
Yeah.
I still think value for money wise, it's not bad. I mean, $120 doesn't get you much in Australia in Games Workshop, does it?
Well,
You
yeah.
could you could
Actually,
you couldn't buy much of these things for that. Like if you're going to buy full price sets, although
so
these are push to fit, so they're generally cheaper in Australia than the normal kits.
mm,
So you'd have to factor in that too. But they haven't actually released them as individual kits. So the only thing we could really compare them to is say like the Death Guard models that they come out with that they sold individually, Poxwalkers that were sold individually, or the three Plague Marines, those kind of sets. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So another way that I was thinking about, if you want to take like marine equivalent, let's do this for models and just go Chaos Marines,
Mhm.
the box set. That's $99 here in Australia or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
let's compare that to that. Like how
For 10
many
Chaos Marines. Yeah.
10 Chaos Marines, $20 more, and you get that much.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get
Yeah,
all the other little bits and pieces too. So, I mean, these sets are good value for money in Australia. I mean, probably even better overseas.
yeah,
For so not too bad. Not a huge hike on this one, but I think it's the next one which has the biggest hike, and I'm interested to look at that one. If you're keen to move on to that one,
yep. I'm just
which is
jumping
the
there.
Command Edition. So, just my first impressions on this one. Obviously, you're getting the terrain, right? That's the big change here.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's pretty
The
much the
figures
same.
are the same, right? Yeah, they are. I'm looking at it right now. So the 27 push to fit figures exactly the same. So you're getting what you're basically getting is the terrain by the look
for
of this
for
straight
a
up.
hundred for
So
a hundred
yeah, sorry.
for $110. Terrain and
And
the
yeah, individually, What about the books? It looks like you're getting a proper book too, which is
No,
actually
it's
like,
a cut down book.
is it?
The rules apparently is so the rules you get at the moment when you'd buy the rules, like you're talking 400 something pages. I think this is cut
Hmm.
down to 120 or
Okay, but
something.
it's a bigger book than the other ones, though, isn't it? The other one's just a
Yes. Yeah.
booklet kind of style, which they have. Um, here's another thing too: is that there is a transfer sheet with over 600 transfers for the Marines. That's interesting. I think the others had some transfers as well, but that's quite a large transfer sheet, like for different chapters. So
Mm.
that's pretty cool. Nice not to just use Ultramarines all the time, like just with their stuff. So okay, so you're saving a little bit on the terrain. So that's the only reason you'd really upgrade to this one. So really, if you're getting into 40K, I guess what you'd do is you'd buy this set and you'd get the small set. So you'd buy this one in the small set, and you'd have some basic terrain, and you would have a reasonable start to your army. Maybe you could get a 500 point detachment. You know, what I mean, like
Yeah.
in the new ninth edition. What do you think? What are you seeing?
So I'm just comparing at the moment the actual battlefield expansion set with the terrain is
Hmm.
150. You combine that with the elite edition,
Hmm.
that you're looking at 270 there compared to the
Yeah,
230 you'd be paying for the command edition, and you get an extra get the book.
yeah, of course,
So
yeah.
yeah, it makes
So
sense.
I'm not too disappointed in these. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Primaris faction is lacking a little bit. Like you're just getting into the assault intercessors, then a couple of bikes. I don't know how powerful they are. I don't really play 40K per se, like in its proper. But I'd be more interested in the Necron side of this anyway.
Mm.
If I was looking at it, but hey, if you're interested in the Necron side of it, have a look on Facebook. Everyone's selling it. All the Primaris dudes sell it all the Necron half, so you can get that from the Indominus set. But this would be work out to be cheaper because these are all push to fit and stuff. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, okay. So I think it's sort of on par with the Death Guard one, isn't it? Like I thought they were pretty good. Simple models, not many variations, but these look probably better made than those. I think like they look a little bit jazzier,
Mm.
and they've got a couple of new type of. I suppose the Necron's a bit more exciting because they've got new models. You know what I mean? Like they're new types of models.
Yeah. The
They look pretty cool. Like yeah, I do quite like the leader models for the Marines. Like I think they've done a good job there. They're
yeah the,
obviously designed as assault kind of
yeah
setups.
the Necron models I'm actually fairly impressed with. Like they haven't they haven't changed them that much, but
Yep.
it's enough to go. They actually look a lot more. They have more character to them, if you can
Yeah.
really have character to a Necron.
To
But
a metal skeleton. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think the Necron dudes have needed an update for a while. Those warrior figures must be quite old now.
yeah, they are.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on those ones? Like, that's sort of a bit of a rundown. I mean, without getting very specific, we're just looking at prices. It's basic what you get. I'm looking back now at the paint sets. Paint
Mm-hmm.
sets, are they good value? Um, okay, so you can get the tool and paint set for $77. Now, I've got a comparison with this one. Games Workshop have the general paint and tool set, which I think is probably the best buy in the world. I think it's like $55, and I think you get 12 paints and the tools that you receive there as well, and a paintbrush. So it's not quite as good value as the paint set that they already have,
Mm-hmm.
but it is more specific towards Marines. And I can see that they've got the new Necron paint in there as well, the new
Yes,
Cryptek one, which is quite cool. So
that
I
by
guess,
itself,
yeah,
that by itself is $10.
yeah. So, and you do have some, I think it's got some Earthshade or something in there too. It's got a
Yep.
couple of things. So that's not a bad buy. Like, like if you in Australia, like the larger paints are generally $11. I think they are bigger ones, and the contrast in that, and then the smaller ones are about 7 or 8. I can't remember offhand. So, if you add that up, it's not too bad. They've also broken it down into two sets, so just the Marine half, just the Necron half, if that's what you wanted to go, plus 3 miniatures. So that's another option as well. $60. I don't know if I'd go those options myself. I probably
Well,
got most of those paints anyway.
yeah, coming
Um,
from okay, so like coming from a Necron player,
yep.
3 miniatures, yeah.
Meh. Yeah.
Earthshade of actually that's Earthshade gloss.
Oh yeah, I use Earthshade Gloss. I quite like it.
Yeah, okay, I don't have Earthshade Gloss. I only have Earthshade. So that Tesseract
Yep.
don't have all the rest. So
Yeah.
there's $20, a few miniatures.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe.
You're nearly better off buying another set for
Yeah,
$65 and then getting more models. Yeah. You
yeah,
get another 10 plus a leader and some more scarabs as well.
yeah.
I'd probably go that option and just use the paints you've got. But that's
But
just me.
if you were
But if you're
trying,
a new player,
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
or if you were looking at a real nephew niece that was interested in this, there's
Yep.
three miniatures and the paints to paint them. So
Yeah, for sure. All
that's
right.
easily a birthday present there. So
True, true. Yeah, it's a good size for a present, isn't it? Like
yeah,
$60. You're not paying 230 or something. So it's not a bad little present size. So yeah. Okay. Have you got any other closing thoughts on this news item?
um, not really. Like I think now that I look at the prices compared to things, I think the last version of this for 8th edition or whatever they brought it out for
Mhm.
may have been more value, but the way that things are going, like you just have to go with the flow. And if you were to buy it all individually, you're gonna
Yeah.
pay a lot more anyway. So
Yeah, I believe that they had because you'd get with the Marines, for example, you got um intercessors and reavers, didn't you?
yes,
Like where this only has one troop type, really, it just has the assault marine, the assault in whatever they are. So yeah, okay, fair enough. That might be a bit of a difference. And I know that in the larger sets, you're getting that bloat drone and stuff for the Death Guard. So you
yeah,
had bigger models, but those cryptek things look pretty cool. And you've got bikes, I guess, which are probably a bit more expensive as well. So it's not too bad. I'm not that disappointed in it. I
mm,
guess you could, if you were into Kill Team, you could wouldn't maybe the first set would be an okay option because you get the new warriors and you'd get some of those assault marines. But beyond that, you're not going to be able to use much else if you get the bigger sets within Kill Team.
yeah,
So I'd really only recommend the basic recruit set for Kill Team myself because that is actually usable. And even for commanders, it's usable because you're getting a captain there, and I mean a lieutenant, and you're also getting a Necron, which you could use as a leader as well. So yeah, that'd be just my thoughts. So if you're going to play Kill Team, maybe just the recruit box. But if you're into Warhammer proper 40k, then yeah, you probably go the others. Not too bad.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that was the first news segment we've done. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have anything you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. Also, please like, comment, subscribe, all those things. You can consider becoming a Patreon. You'd be a legend, a complete legend amongst mortals. But beyond that, we've been WarHQ. I'm Lucius. He's Kaisel. And we thank you for your time.
Thanks.